Hi guys, how are you all doing today? Now I've got a very special film to talk about today, and I think having wet hair really suits it because it's time to talk about Wolfwig's The Wet Ones. Just a quick editor's note, I am so sorry, Wigwolf, that I kept calling you Wolfwig throughout the entire review. When I recorded the video, I had just seen it, so all my thoughts were still fresh in my head, and yeah, I made a mistake there, so I do apologise and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. Now this film is a complete wild ride, and I mean that really. I'm just left stunned. I got an early access copy of this through the lovely Wolfwig, and I'm very grateful for that, so thank you very much for giving me early access to your film, and I just knocked the mic. Great. So what is Wet Ones about? Well, The Wet Ones really is a compilation of 3 short films that are just interconnected together, played by an assortment of Barbie dolls and other household items that are made to make characters. The first one being called The Wet Ones, the second adventure being Kate Middleton's Adventure, where Middleton and her talking car, similar to Knight Rider, but if Kit and Michael save the town from a gang of bobcats. The third and final story is Titanic Sinclair Kills Everything. That's right, Titanic Sinclair kills everything, where Katy Perry has become an alcoholic thanks to the music producer and overall scumbag Titanic Sinclair killing everyone she knows. So in order to enact revenge, she becomes her alter ego, Trey Sanchez. Oh god, it makes me laugh talking about this because it's so silly, but the overall stories, they're actually quite interesting. I won't reveal the stories, I won't reveal how they end or anything like that. I just want you to go into this, I can't describe it. I cannot describe it. It's one of those films where it's hard to describe, but once you see it and you observe it, you think, okay, I kind of get this now. These stories are batshit insane, and which goes a lot for the film's aesthetic as well, using lots of children's toys and homemade sort of clay sculptures that act as, characters. It really has a raw and old feel. There's lots of oversaturation and really badly composed green screen, because it was all shot on, mini DV cameras and also lots of tape. So it's got that really old, not obscure, but obsolete look to it, which I really like. It kind of reminded me, how should I put it? I don't know if any of you are familiar with the work of Shay St. John. It was obviously an old series where a character called Shay St. John was like an actor who'd lost her legs, but it was just surreal and bizarre. And mixing that with the an amateur filmmaker from the 90s who has no idea how this works, but just does it anyway and doesn't give a shit. I think that really works really well together. I just love that whole look where it's not necessarily made very well, but it's the sincerity that I love, and that's what I love about this film. It made me laugh for the crude humour, the ridiculous stories, the way in which even how the stories just intertwine with each other, because these are short films. There's no indicator of which film is which. It just seamlessly goes from one to the other, and Christ almighty, I was like, wait, so we're on the next story now? Okay, but apart from that, it really is a bit of a roller coaster. You don't know what you're going to get, which twist or turn you're going to go down. And as an art film, I think that's, it does work really well. As I said previously of how it reminds me of Say St. John and somebody who hasn't got any technical skills but makes their films anyway, it also reminds me of how people can find these random videos online that don't make really much sense, but it's kind of as if you found a VHS tape, don't know what's on it, and then someone just uploads it online and just gives it an obscure name, and it creates an obscurity to it. That's what it kind of reminds me of a little bit, and I really appreciate that. It's just bursting with imagination, and it just does not stop. It's like they couldn't keep a lid on it, and it just kind of explodes everywhere. From the overexposure, the really bright colours, it's just got a barrage of colour in your face the entire time. The only thing negative I had to really say about this film is its running time, as it's over 2 hours long, and for me, I had to take a break in between for an hour and then do the next hour, because to be honest, I felt as if I was going to get burnt out a little bit, because it's so much going on and there's so much to unpack and unravel. I don't know if that's just me, you know, the surreal editing, you know, the splicing of badly composited green screen, and you've also got, you know, these ridiculous stories that seem to just go from one to the other. It just it played me a little bit, so I had to pause it, you know, have a break and come back to it. And really, I kind of wish it was a little bit shorter, but I understand these are just, you know, 3 films put together, so I understand why it might have been a bit longer. The humour is ridiculous, it's crude, it's violent, it's funny, and especially where Katy Perry does an amazing kickflip, which made me laugh, because you'll see why. If you watch the film, you'll see why. And some of the lines are quotable as well, especially with Kate Middleton's car having like a Scottish accent. I don't know if whoever was trying to do that was trying to pull off, but it just made me laugh. It did. But overall, guys, I really enjoyed The Wet Ones. I definitely see it not being for everybody's taste, but for the few people, or maybe the vast majority of people who love this kind of cinema, where it looks as if someone's just found an old VHS tape in the dump and just put it online, and it's created this obscure lore behind it, or this, you know, this mysteriousness. If you love this sort of films, definitely check this out, because I think you'll have a really fun time with it, like I did. And I could definitely see through the project itself that it looked like a lot of fun to make, and I can respect that wholeheartedly. Hopefully by the time this review goes out, the film will be a bit readily available. The premiere is on Friday the 17th of September, and go and have a look. It's a batshit crazy film. I enjoyed it. Didn't enjoy the running time, but it comes with it. It's not my vision, it's somebody else's vision. But yeah, I really found it fascinating. I believe that Wolf's got an incredibly unique style that can't really be topped in the underground, I don't think. I think it's a very unique look. It's done in such an obscure way, but the results show. And it just looks like a late 90s amateur film that it garners a cult following. And I just love that so much. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this review, please do leave a like, subscribe, comment, or just give any feedback whatsoever. I'm always available. Hit me up on Instagram or Reddit, and I will also leave some links down below where you can find Wolfwig online. So anyway, guys, have a good day. Take it steady. Cheers.